OF models are not making money. What be it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What be it for a woman to lose her soul and gain nothing? The OF gold rush is over and has been for quite some time now. Gone are the days when your average girl next door can create an account, at the very least show you all of her soul and get a lot of money. Now, girls are doing anything online, and I mean anything. If you know about the Dubai, you know they would do anything. And even with all of that, they're still broke and not making any money. A lot of the women who have done this realizes that this is one of the worst, if not the worst, decision of their lives that they have ever made. And a lot of them have given it up, or at least tried to, because hindsight is 2020, but the past does follow. Let's hear what some of them have to say.
It isn't an easy mode. It's never like people think like, oh, girls who are attractive can just start popping that online and they're going to make so much money. That's not true. You know, if you have an audience already, if you already have a following, then yeah, you could probably do decently well because you're already known. But if you're just a regular Joe who sits at home and does a 9 to 5 and has no following, starting is never going to work for you. It's just not. And I feel like we need more of this. We need more de-influencing because it's not a good thing.
All you got to do is put your tits on the internet. It's that easy, but it's not. Like, it is, at the end of the day, a business, and it's run as a business, and you have to save for tax. And if you're earning in the top tax bracket, you get taxed 40% of what you earn, plus 10% for GST if they're not outside of Australia. So
half your money is gone.
Half your money is gone. So you could be earning really nice 6 figures, but they're going to take half of it. And the ATO is fucking relentless. Literally, when I got this tax bill, and it was about $200,000. And if I scraped together everything I had at the time, because there were other things that I'd had to pay for and like other things that had gone on, I was still going to be short by about 50 grand. And I was like, this is fucking morbid, but I was like, I get why people kill themselves because of financial issues, because I'm like, I cannot see a way out. Like, I just can't. And I was never been so fucking stressed in my life.
I also was sold the narrative of men are going to sexualize you anyway, so why not make $1 off it? Like, they're going to catcall you, they're going to look at you, you're going to feel sexualized, so why not make profit off of it? And the reality is you are exploiting yourself. You are selling your body for a price. No matter the language you want to use for it, whether or not you want to call it prostitution or pornography, that is what it is. And if you're comfortable with that and you enter into that, fine. But there is a detriment to your soul. It's going to sound corny, but that is true. Your soul, your self-confidence, that is what I experienced even after years and years of validating that for myself in many ways. There's just no getting around it.
How did you understand yourself and your body at the time? Like, did you feel that it still belonged to you?
No. And you could see this in not just behaviors like OnlyFans or the sugar baby websites, but just in like hookup culture. I mean, I would go on dates with men I met on Tinder and I would sleep with them that day. Is that respecting myself? Am I exploiting the man or am I exploiting myself? You spend so much time normalizing that behavior of, well, sex is essentially meaningless. It's just as casual as getting a coffee or going to dinner with a guy. So why not put it for sale? Like, we've, in my world, degraded sex so much that it was a natural progression to make it profitable.
I did OF and I regret it badly, but I wish I had thought about it much harder than I did because I regret it and I wish I didn't do that. It was a weird part of my life.
Here's why starting on OnlyFans was the worst decision I made in my life. I did not realize that I was literally selling parts of my soul and the money could have never made it worth it. I just wish that someone would have warned me and told me that I was going to be later experiencing PTSD from the trauma and the experiences that I was subjecting myself to on a daily basis. I did not know that I would later need to be in trauma counseling. It brought me into way darker places than I ever could have imagined, and I never want to go back there. I wish I could go back in time to who I was before I started doing all that stuff and just tell myself that the money is not worth it. Keep your happiness. And that's all I want to tell any girl who's thinking about starting an account. I just hope I can save even just one girl from going through the pain and the trauma that I am now going through because I subjected myself to that for the last couple years.
OnlyFans will ruin your life just as badly as porn will, and for less money. Likely. What people don't understand about OnlyFans is it's a lot of work. I made another video on this and let the women that do OnlyFans speak for themselves in the comments. So no, don't do OF. At least with Corn, you get a guaranteed check as long as your agent doesn't take it. OF, you're putting your nudes on the internet for the rest of forever in the hopes of possibly one day making $1,000. It's not a better option. Both things will ruin your life. Neither of them pay enough.
Is this what feminism really pushed for? Trading your dignity for a paycheck and calling it empowerment? That freedom came at the cost of your self-respect, leaving you broken and haunted long after the cash dries up. This isn't liberation, it's exploitation disguised as choice. Feminism sold you a lie, and now you're stuck paying the price.
I not quit, and it finally got to a point where I was just like, I'm done. I was like, I don't really want to do it anymore, and this sounds so weird, but I literally like prayed to God and I was like, please like find something that I actually enjoy doing and actually like, I don't know, just I want to be able to do something that's me, and that wasn't me. And I quit OnlyFans with like no plan on really what I was doing next. And
now she prays to God after cashing in on her own body like a clearance sale. Where was this divine wisdom when she was uploading content for creeps? Funny how finding yourself only starts when the easy money dries up or shame kicks in.
And the cost for you is that your body will now be shared by tens of thousands of people, not just your soulmate.
yeah.
But don't you feel a little bit of sadness that you wish that your body would just be sold with your future, shared with your future soulmate?
I did have that mindset, and then like I feel like men actually changed me and turned me into this person. And
Who did? A men?
No, like men in general, like they just turned me into this person. I didn't plan my life going this way. It was literally a 1-minute decision, and I thought I might as well. They all view me the same, so I'll just throw my life in and do it.
Well,
but I feel like if a man wants to be with me and love me for who I am, then so be it. But if they're going to judge me for what my work is and what I do, then I'm not going to let them in my life.
Right. So the judging is a separate issue. Do you think the type of man you want, I imagine, is one that tells the truth and that is loyal to you?
Yeah.
That pool of men that you eventually want to have a family with, do you think they will look fondly upon OnlyFans girls?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I could tell you as a man that we look so lowly on OnlyFans girls, it's the equivalent to digital prostitution.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
No, it's not.
Really?
It's the average Western male.
I don't know if it's
Wait,
like...
what is his opinion?
I mean, it's not an opinion. It is factual that the average Western male looks at OnlyFans no different than an escort service delivered digitally.
Well, isn't it just objectively true?
And I'm not trying to attack either of you. I think you're both victims caught up in this terrible trend. I just want to ask you, have you thought deeply about how this might get you further from your goal, not closer to your goal?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I have definitely thought about that.
But
when, like, I first started it.
Stop playing the victim. No man forced you into OnlyFans, you chose it. Crying now because your soulmate won't respect you is pure delusion. You traded your dignity for cash, now face the consequences.
My mental health since I've started this has just slowly been on such a decline. I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized. Not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of desire or attraction to men in general anymore. Just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, there really are so many downsides at this point, and I'm willing to admit this now. There's no amount of money that you can give me right now to make me feel give
OnlyFans. If you had ever tried it, you realize you're not Black China. You are not fucking what's one of the Kindles. I don't know. You're selling your body. Kardashians. That's what it is. You're not Kylie Kardashian. You're not making that type of money. You're not.
But it's the hope of it. And there's a lot of people who are
there is the hope of it.
Girl next door.
But if you're that bold, you're gonna post your sex tapes. Be a porn star. Just go full throttle with it. Go full throttle with it. You'll make more money as a porn star.
Love porn star girlfriend.
You'll make more money, but there's less control. Like anything else. It's
right.
That is true.
Because it's just you. So you're doing your own shit. You choose what you want to do. Obviously, in the other situations, you can choose too, but sometimes you don't feel like you can.
Nothing funnier than when Shorty makes an OF making no money, then deletes all records of her promoting it and pretends nothing happened. This is honestly my favorite character arc as a Division 1 level hater, because this is basically worse than being a failed rapper. Because at least when you fail at rapping, you try something, a talent, you put yourself out there, you made some music, a beat, and you just was ass. You know what I mean? Everybody be like, nah, you just suck. We ain't making it out the hood. Now, if you show some titties and ass for free or for $5, ass for $10, and you fail at that, That's gotta be a self-deprecating moment, because you out there putting God's goods out there for basically nothing, for the internet to see, and nobody buying it. It's like you a bad, wasted fruit in a fruit aisle, and everybody looking, they just don't want you. And you know, I just want to know, what happens after this? Do you guys just go about it, or does your group text like send a little couple jokes in there, like, oh, remember when she tried to do this? Or even guys. I mean, there's guys I've seen start OnlyFans. I had to unfollow them because I was like, whoa. Because as you imagine, women aren't dumb enough to pay for something like that. It's gay guys. And so all of a sudden, it's like my boy is taking iniquitous pictures. I'm like, what the fuck? Unfollow. No thanks. And then they tried to delete it like nothing happened. No. We saw what happened. You was selling your body, but nobody was buying. Tough.
How often does an OnlyFans model, let's just say, goes broke, making all this
all
money?
the time?
Really?
Oh my gosh. And this is something I'm working on with my boyfriend, is to kind of educate girls on investing, especially when things are hot and you're making so much money. Like, put that aside, because in an instant it could all go away. And I kind of felt that way many times doing OnlyFans and doing social media. Like, your Instagram can get deleted, your TikTok can get deleted, and that's if that's your mainstream to funnel people to your OnlyFans accounts, like, you're gonna be screwed. The thing with social media, if you're not big enough, if you're not making enough waves throughout all the platforms, once your Instagram is deleted, you're forgotten about. To try to regrow and try to do the same thing that you did the first time, it's not going to be as easy. It might not even happen again. I've been talking with friends who are actually tired of the industry. All the girls that kind of came up with me when I came up in the community are all looking for exit plans. So luckily my boyfriend, he works in finance, so we're going to be helping these girls kind of look into investing for their future, putting things aside, just a monthly something to put to the side into whatever plans we have is super, super important, because in a second it could be gone. The wrong investment, and a lot of, oh my goodness, the one thing I noticed, a lot of these girls that come into this industry and make so much money, they think they can do whatever with it, and they see it coming in all the time, so they're investing in these stupid companies. All these people come after these girls, and unfortunately a lot of them are not versed in business or investments or anything. They're like, oh, invest in this AI company that we're going to launch in a few years, and they'll throw thousands of dollars into this AI company that they think is going to be huge, and nothing ever happens.
Wow.
And that investment's gone. You're trying to text the person, hey, what's happened? It's gone.
Never existed yet.
Never existed. Or like, oh, this new NFT, or you can make your own coin, like invest in this and that. You throw a shit ton of money thinking it's going to be huge, and it's gone. Because there's just so much scamming and so much shittiness in this industry that it is so easy to get duped and like lose a lot of your money. And a lot of the girls who start making all this money as an independent contractor, because that's what you are, a lot of these girls have 9-to-5s where their taxes were taken out of the paycheck, so they didn't really have to worry about it. But as an independent contractor, these girls don't know that they have to still pay taxes at the end of the year. So they'll throw crazy money at new cars or paying off their parents' debts, and know at the end of the year that you have this huge bill you have to pay, and they don't have the money to pay it. And it happens, and I've seen it happen.
I'm an OF creator, and there are some months that I can't even pay my bills. I really want to share my story because I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding about people who do this job, and a lot of people just assume that once you open the account, you're going to become a millionaire instantly. I really want to do this video for any girls out there who are thinking about it and debating whether it's the right path for them. I just want to share my story and share the realities behind the job, that it's not just rainbows, money, and glamour. Give a little backstory of how it started. Back in 2020, I gained some followers on Instagram. I had been posting for, I think, about 3 years. And I did a lot of hiking photos, and I did a lot of like beach pictures. I didn't really know what it meant at the time. It was just what people were doing, what was trending. I didn't think that it was going to attract so many men, but I just kind of did it because I wanted to be an influencer. I kind of really wanted to get out of my 9-to-5 job because I really struggled with it and I really hated it. So one of my photos got viral and I gained quite a bit of following then. And at the time it was really popular. A lot of people were creating their OF accounts and a lot of people making a lot of money. So I thought, well, I've gained all this male following. I didn't want it all to be for nothing. And at the same time, I had a modeling agency that was about to sign me. I kept doing videos for them and stuff. So I was like, it's just going to be a little in-between thing where I can earn a little bit of money, have a little bit of freedom, and then just focus on the modeling and just do that. So I decided to create it, and then I never really earned a crazy amount of money, but at the time I was earning about, 1,000 to 2,000 per month from it, and it was more than what I was earning at my 9 to 5 job. So I thought, well, I really hate my 9 to 5 job. I was always crying before it, and I just felt really uncomfortable with. The owner was not a good guy. I really didn't want to stay there. At the time, I thought I wasn't even going to show anything. I thought I was just going to do like bikini lingerie type of videos, and it's what I did at the beginning. The thing about this industry is that your audience is always going to want more and more of you. As the years progress, you have to reinvent the wheel. You have to constantly be doing new things, and it's not just a simple thing of where you post photos and people buy things. Maybe at the beginning it is when you're new and interesting, but people are going to get bored of you really fast. So you kind of start to get pushed to show more, to do more, to do this extra thing because now that's your main job. And the thing with the modeling agency, it didn't work out. It was my main job and I have bills to pay. And thankfully, I have a partner who was supporting me and stuff. But first year, I was doing well. And then it starts to get less and less as the years pass. And to the point of where if you don't reinvent or do more or show more, it's just going to get forgotten and people are not going to keep buying your content. And I started doing a lot of reposts because overall I was never really that much into the idea of doing it. I just did it because I wanted some extra money. I wanted to get away from the 9 to 5 grind. I wanted to have some freedom because I really hated it. But realistically, I never really liked the job and I never liked the things that you had to do in the job. And there's always this in the back of your head of everyone knows what you're doing. I never really hid behind anonymity. So I would always think people from back home know what I'm doing. Everyone knows. And I did tell my mom and my sister what I was going to do, but we never really got into talking about the ins and outs of the job or what it entails because I feel like it's just kind of a taboo topic and you don't really want to talk about it, you feel uncomfortable. So it just kind of turned into this thing that is just hidden and shameful, and I would feel ashamed if people ask me what I'm doing for work. Most of the time I would just say that I'm working a 9 to 5 still. If you are going to do this job, you have to actually like, and I know it might sound crazy, but you actually have to like doing what you do. You have to actually enjoy the work. You have to do it for something more than just the money, because if you're just going in for the money, it's going to become very tedious very fast and you're going to hate it and hate yourself, and it's kind of what happened with me. And as the years passed by, I kept saying to myself, I'm going to get into something else. I started doing all those different things, just kind of get away from it, but it never really led to anything. I had a blog, I was trying to do UGC as well, content creation, which I think is the thing that aligns the most with me, and I really enjoy doing it and I really enjoy connecting to people, but at the same time I feel like that is part of me. It's what I'm doing at the moment, and realistically I just wanted to be honest and say it's not as glamorous as it seems. There's months that you could be doing well and then the next month you're not doing well and you're making less than $500 a month and you don't know how to pay your bills. And thankfully I have someone to support me, but not everyone would. And it's not really something that's super stable unless you're very, very famous and you have millions and millions of followers. But if you don't, you're just going to get forgotten and you're just one of the many girls that these guys follow, and you're just not the new and interesting girl, because there's always going to be a new girl and somebody that's younger, somebody that's more attractive, somebody that's more interesting. And it's just kind of a sad thing when you think about it. There's always a part of me that thought maybe I shouldn't share this because I don't want to be known for this, but at the same time I really want to be authentic and I really want to be honest with everyone. I want other people to know what it's like, and I want to share what it's like to be in that industry and to do this and everything that comes with it. It's not this super easy job that will just give you millions and millions. There's a lot more to it, and there's a lot that you would have to do to get that money. And are you actually willing to do that? When it comes down to it, there is part of me that wish I never did that, but there's also a part of me that learned a lot from it. And I think I learned a lot about myself and about the world and about people and about men as well. So it's interesting to have lived that. But I would never recommend it, especially if you're a young girl. I would never ever recommend it. And I would say that if you really do want to do it, you should definitely be over 25. But you have to think about it very, very deeply and consider what it entails, because there is a lot that comes with this job. And yeah, I just wanted to share my story in case it helps somebody.
Hello. So, I don't have many followers on this platform, and it's not really a big deal. That's not what I'm here for, but I'm hoping this message gets to the right people. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack for this, for not doing my research beforehand and just being stupid, I guess, whatever you want to call it, but really it was just being misinformed and uneducated. So I want to take a minute to educate anybody else who might be considering this career path and the what's the word? The risks of it. Okay? So let's get into it. So I have an OF. I've had it for about a year now. And some things I really wish I was educated on beforehand are things like career pathways. I've always wanted to be like a psychologist, a philosopher, like a writer, something along those lines. And after having my OF for about a year, I've come to realize that I wasn't educated beforehand in the fact that that will ruin a lot of big career paths for people. And this is something I wish I knew because I've recently been considering going to college, and I want to study psychology and philosophy, but those career pathways that you get from earning that degree are ones that you can't do with an OF, and I did not know that until today. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking like you're dumb for that, whatever, and I get it. I probably was, but that's why I'm here to educate anybody else who's considering opening one up for themselves. So, while I advocate for people who do have an OF to be able to do whatever career they want, it is just not normalized enough in this day and age, surprisingly. So I can no longer partake in being a counselor, just anything that works with the public, really, like that, in the way where you serve the public. And I was actually very emotional about this earlier because this is the career pathway I've been wanting to take from a very, very, like, not even a young age, I can't say, because I used to want to be a veterinarian, but after seeing a little bit of that field, I realized it wasn't for me. And in high school, late high school, I realized that I wanted to study the human brain and psychology and help people who are struggling with their mental health and religious trauma and all that. But now I cannot do so because what you put online is always going to be there. So, long story short, if you want a career path, like a different career path aside from OF someday, I would recommend definitely doing your research because I was not lucky enough. And another way I look at it though is I did my OF to survive. I was speaking with my sister about it and she was like, don't beat yourself up. You did what you had to do to survive. I've been homeless and the whole 9 yards. And really, I've struggled with a lot of things and not getting into all that. I needed extra money. And I was really struggling to get it. And I thought the easiest way would be to start that up. And that's what I'm saying is like there's risks. And I'm not saying it wasn't a smart idea because it did get me out of some situations that I needed some money for. But if you're looking for a long-term career pathway and something that is not pursuing OF, definitely do your research. Do your research, and don't make the same mistake I did. So, yeah. I wanted to come on here and inform somebody who might not be educated like I wasn't. I honestly thought that it mostly went for like people who are teachers, and that's another career pathway I had dabbled in, but I can't do that now either. So basically it's just playing a game of what do I want to do that I still enjoy now that the main thing I enjoyed has kind of been ripped from me. I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to educate y'all. So hopefully somebody finds this video useful. I might turn off comments because I don't want to deal with people telling me that it's my own fault. I'm very well aware. But some things just happen. Like, some things just happen, life happens, and we move on. But if I can help anybody, that's my goal. But, yeah. Bye.
You weren't healing, you were hustling. Let's be real. The moment the cash dries up or a better offer walks in, the spiritual awakening hits. Was never empowerment.
is the amount of money that you two girls are making on OnlyFans. Is it worth giving up a family and love? Because any man that is worth his salt that you would even be attracted to wouldn't put up with it. I can tell you right now. And you, my dear, are a depreciating asset. Every day that goes by, you're going to be less and less beautiful. And at some point, there's going to be a history of you doing that. As beautiful as you are, you're stunning, you're a pretty girl. But no man that is going to be in your league is going to put up with it. And so the question is, if you were truly in love and you had true desire for a man that would put his foot down with you, tell you how it was going to be, would you or would you not give up your OnlyFans?
No, I wouldn't. Same way if I wanted to really expand my dating pool.
Then you do not genuinely desire that man. You would not be in love with that man. Because if you were in love with that man, you would shut it down. And that day will come for you. It'd probably be way
Again,
down
why
the
don't
road.
I put on a hijab? Because then I can find a man who actually reciprocates, because Muslim men lower their gaze when other women
that asks you
walk
to do it
by.
and you say no to, you're going to look at his you will not respect him and you will not love him. Any man that you look up to and respect, you would quit doing it for. And that day might not be today, but it will come.
You're a depreciating asset. Ouch. Enough said.
You city girls, bitch, you from the country. You from the country. And you got an OnlyFans, but no money. Where your money? How the fuck you city girl, you from the country? From the depths. And you got an OnlyFans, but no money. Hey, listen. Be your ass over.
If you or a loved one have suffered from delusions
of self-worth due to a 6-figure monthly income from OnlyFans and are now 30 years old, out of money, unable to get a real job, and lack of social utility is crushing you, then call the offices of Should Have Thought It Through. We may be able to help.
Offices of Should Have Thought It Through. How may I direct your call?
Hi there, I saw your ad on TV.
Oh, great. For the people who lost all their savings listening to influencers with no financial knowledge on what scams to invest in?
No, for the women who used to do OnlyFans.
Ah, yes, one moment. Let me transfer you. Offices of Should Have Thought It Through.
Hi, yes, I'm calling because I saw your commercial.
Ah, yes, you need a divorce alert because you realize now that hot goth girl with neck tattoos and daddy issues didn't really have daddy issues. They're straight up just issues, and she's actually batshit crazy, and just because she was a good doesn't mean she'd make a good partner.
No, what? Fuck. I'm calling about OnlyFans.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd recommend just saving your $5. You can find most of that on Reddit for free.
I'm calling because I was an OnlyFans girl and I'm out of money and I can't get a job.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I forgot we even had that wing of our law firm. We don't usually get calls from you guys. Most of you don't have the IQ to complete simple tasks like making a phone call. And, well, the rest of you just go back to social media to blame man or society or the phase you were going through for the consequences of your short-sightedness.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Please like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below on what's going on. I'll see you on the next one.